Hi there, writers. I just want to give you a little bit of a tour of the Annotated Bibliography, which is your paper number 2 materials that are available here to you. So underneath the module week 3, these haven't been posted yet. They're drafts for now, but they will have been posted by the time you see this video. You can find all of the information here about the Annotated Bibliography paper. If you're not familiar with an Annotated Bibliography, it's a different type of paper assignment than like a research paper or an informative paper. So it can be a little bit tricky to get the hang of at first. Once you get the hang of it, however, it's the same concept for each source. So there's a couple documents here that I just want to draw your attention to. First of all, the Annotated Bibliography assignment sheet document tells you what to include in your annotated bibliography and has the guidelines and requirements here for you. So these guidelines and requirements are really important to pass this paper. There are things, an annotated bibliography is pretty straightforward as far as do this, then do this, then do this, and don't forget this, right? And so these guidelines and requirements are super duper important for this paper. You will also have the FAQ slides document. So these are some of the things that tend to stump students the most regarding the annotated bibliography, and it just has a reminder of the guidelines and the requirements and a link to the scoring guide and a link to the sample source as well, or the sample paper, as well. So make sure you take your time to click through that FAQ too. Then you will see this document, how to write the annotated bibliography. So keep in mind that the first part of the annotated bibliography, I'm now looking at the student sample document. You're going to have the MLA heading, you're going to have your last name and page number up here, you're going to have your title, which is going to be Annotated Bibliography of whatever your paper topic is for the course, will come here. I'd also like for you to have what your thesis is for the course, or for the final paper. So it's going to change. You don't have to commit to what you write here, but I would like a good idea of what you are going to claim in that paper. This is going to be a problem solution paper. So at this point, your thesis just needs to identify the problem and then what you think the solution will be. And again, you haven't completed all of your research yet for this, so your thesis is a working thesis at this point, meaning it is going to change. So after you get those ideas on, or these concepts, these elements on here, first comes the MLA citation for that source. And these will be in alphabetical order by whatever letter comes first on the citation. So how to cite it, right? It's the same concept as how you would cite it on a works cited page. So you just put that citation first. It's still hanging indent. It's got the volume, the issue number, it's got the page numbers, exactly the same as it is on the previous lesson we talked about how to do the MLA works cited page. Then after the citation come 2 paragraphs. So there's one paragraph here that has a very specific function, which is summarizing the source. Your only job in this paper is to summarize the source. At the end, you also do a little bit of analysis as to who the source is meant for. Is it meant for a public audience? Is it persuasive? So audience and purpose analysis come into the summary in the last couple sentences. But the first paragraph's job is to summarize. On how to write an annotated bibliography, it's divided by paragraph. So the first page is how to write that summary paragraph. And I want you to follow this format, this rhetorical precise format, just about exactly, okay? So it's got 4 different parts to this first paragraph. It tells you what to do in the first 1 to 2 sentences, tells you what to do in the next few sentences, the next sentence, and the last sentence of that first paragraph. Okay, so it's very, very specific on how to write this paragraph, and you do want to follow this format exactly. After that, after that paragraph, the second paragraph of annotations is your evaluation of the source. So the evaluation paragraph, we're going to use the CRAP test, which is what we used on the web inquiry assignment number 1. So that CRAP test is just you talking through whether this source is reliable and credible and the extent to which it is relevant to your paper. So again, on the document, How to Write an Annotated Bibliography, The second page of that tells you exactly what to do in that paragraph, sentence by sentence. So what you should do in the first sentence, what you should do in the second sentence. Now, there is a note here that, this paragraph should be a cohesive, flowing paragraph. And so you may be able to combine a few sentences into one sentence to increase that sense of flow. So for example, currency and relevance, maybe you only have a little bit to say about each of those. You could combine those into one sentence using like an and in between. So this information was published in 2016, so it is still relevant to my topic, and it's related to my paper sufficiently enough, right? So you could have fewer sentences if you're combining related pieces of information in this. But as I'm grading this evaluation paragraph, I will be looking for, did they analyze each of these CRAP test items? So I just want to point out some good things to you about this annotated bibliography. You'll see my comments over here. These are notes to you. These aren't notes that I left for the original student. These are notes to you for what you want to notice that this is doing really well. The first sentence here is always going to say what the overall, it's going to offer an overall summary. What is the overall article doing? So in this article, notice they say the type of source it is. This is what the article does. They analyze how sustainable 45 cities' water resource management systems are and like future sustainability. The next couple sentences should give a rundown of how the article does that. So what is the first thing the article does? What is the second thing the article does? So you're going to use phrases like, first, the article offers evidence from a study, blah, 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 and then get specific. So don't just say it offers evidence from a study, but what is that evidence? What was that study? So here we go. How they determined the quality of systems. What challenges they explore. I also want you to notice there's a citation here, which is excellent. You want about one quote or one-cited paraphrase for each of your sources to help you with the summary. So that's a good one. And please note it is still cited in an MLA format. So the second to last sentence here has this in order to phrase, and you'll notice on the how to write it, it mentions this in order to phrase. So what are they doing and why are they doing it? What do they want readers to know or do? So in order to inform readers of is a really good type of phrase to use. The last sentence here is analyzing the tone and how successful that or how the article is tailored to that audience and that purpose. So really nice wrap-up sentence here. In the next paragraph, we notice some really good things about this. It tells specifically how this article will be used in the student's research paper. I'm going to use this to establish and explain the problem of water scarcity. It will be helpful for introducing and analyzing some of the threats and difficulties involving water scarcity. You should have a period there on the end. So here is the analysis of currency. It was only published a couple of years ago. Here is the analysis of relevance. It's directly related to my topic. I find here the analysis of the authority or the credibility of the writers themselves. Here is an analysis of the accuracy and the purpose of the article. And then overall, it's a quality source with relevant information. So this is their overall evaluation of the article and how it will be useful to the paper. So check, 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 check. CRAAP, right? They've done an analysis of each of the CRAP tests. Pointing to like specifics. So not just it is related to my thesis, but here's how I will specifically use it in the paper. And then the next source comes right after it, the MLA citation, the first paragraph that summarizes the source. Notice this also includes a citation. And then the next paragraph, which evaluates the source and their credibility and usefulness, relevance to the student's paper. I really like this sentence. Overall, this is a credible source that can help my paper by providing an example of an area struggling with water scarcity. So the specific thing that I can take from this source to use in my paper. And that will really help you prepare for your paper and also show me that you're really thinking about how these sources might be valuable to you as you learn more about the topic and begin to write your papers. You also, of course, want to check out the scoring guide. So as always, writers, let me know if you have any questions about this bibliography. We're moving right along in the course, so this is not an assignment for which we will be able to do redos. And another reason for that is because it's so specific. Do this, then do this, then do this. So if you're following directions and you've actually read the sources carefully and you're being careful to avoid plagiarism in those paragraphs, you should be able to successfully complete this assignment. So if you have questions, you need to make sure you're communicating with me beforehand. It's always easier for me to help you if I know specifically what you need help on. All right. So keep working, writers, and let me know if I can help you. Annotated bibliographies are coming up due soon.